what a movie. I know it's a bit cliche to say, when a film really stays with you after the credits roll, but in this case, it was so true. I felt like, if you're trying to sort of talk about mental health and disadvantaged youth, often films might try and tell you about that, but this really shows you sort of really feel it in your bones, what it's like to be in the position of these people. Was that something that you wanted to achieve from the outset?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, that's the essence of what the film is about. And I suppose as filmmakers, we're offered the opportunity to occasionally tell stories that offer a point of view that will provoke conversation and discussion. This is one of those times, and so we hope that it does provoke some debate and that people will tend to the needs of others, and that includes, importantly, whatever governments around the world are watching or listening, because people who care for others need support, and society needs to provide the right platform for that.
One of the interesting shifts from the book is obviously putting Steve front and center rather than Shy. So was that a discussion that you had with Max and Tim right from the beginning, and what do you think the impact of that is?
We were looking for a story to tell that would also give Killian the space to do what he does best. And Max had written this character, Steve, for the book, but he only appears a few times in the book. But we took the other manuscript and we used that to sort of generate the world of the story through his eyes rather than Shy. It's the same story, it's just told from a different perspective.
Obviously an incredible actor, we've seen him do so many amazing things, but I feel like this is his best performance to date, or at least the most raw, the most visceral, the most vulnerable. What was it like seeing Killian bring this role to life?
It was actually a very kind of emotional time for us all, because we shot the film in sequence, which you don't get to do very often, and so we were watching him as he kind of descends into the place he goes on a daily basis, and every day he was a slightly grayer shade of grey, which was very affecting for all of us. So it's a kind of moving experience, kind of, you could kind of feel it all over the place, and so yeah, affecting, I guess. But his performance is extraordinary, and that's the great thing about Killian, is that every kind of almost the end of every film you go, that's his best one yet, and then he does a better one,
and of course Jay is Shy, and I guess even seeing the dynamic between the two of them, there's a mirroring there, and these two fragile people finding connection. And I wonder if, despite going to such dark places, it ultimately does feel like a hopeful film. You do come away from it feeling deeply affected but hopeful, particularly in the relationship between the two of them. So was that also one of the things you wanted to achieve?
For sure. I mean, we want the audience to come out feeling that, whatever the problems, whatever the issues, whatever you're facing in your life, that there is a way through. I mean, the lines that Steve shares was at the end, about what he's hoping for his kids and what he hopes for all these boys, and that the world is really an extraordinary place with a lot to offer. It's enough. It is, and so that's what we want for an audience, that they feel hope and they feel optimism and for the future,
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for your time. Huge congrats on an incredible film. Really enjoyed this evening. Thank you. Nice to chat to you.